Hi, it's Dale from Reidys, and we're here at Roland HQ in Swansea, just taking a look at the new LX-7 upright digital piano with Neil. So Neil, what can you tell us about the LX-7?
Okay, so continuing with the styling like the LX-17, it still looks like an upright piano. The design is slightly different, so there's no opening lid like the LX-17 on here, but you do have this adjustable music rest here, and what's interesting about this is that it allows sound to emanate through the front at the player, so enhancing the acoustic projection system. So we have 6 speakers on the LX-7, so we've got 2 at the top, 2 in the middle behind the key bed, and 2 at the bottom. So similar to the LX-17, it's throwing sound out of different parts of the piano at the player. This is a brand new finish in the range, and it's a brand new finish for Roland full stop. This is the brown walnut finish. We thought we would try something a little bit different, something a bit more traditional looking, and so far the feedback's been really positive. Other design features on this, you have a 2-position lid, so if you want to cover up all of the buttons of the front panel, make it look more like a traditional piano. And what's really nice on all 4 of the pianos is if you pull the lid down, it'll actually turn the piano off.
Oh, right.
It's a very simple feature, but nobody's ever done this before.
It's surprising,
so
actually.
if we push it back, you'll notice, there you go, it's turning
Powering
itself
back
on.
up. That's
So a really nice little feature. So all of the pianos have 2 headphone sockets, so if 2 of you want to practice at the same time or have lessons on headphones, the panel, like we've seen, is the same on all 4 models. So it's using the Supernatural modelling sound engine still. It's got the PHA50 hybrid action, which is combining wood and moulded materials for a really authentic feel. In addition to that, it obviously has the Bluetooth connectivity, so we can stream audio through it, so using it as a stereo in your house, you know, a fancy set of Bluetooth speakers. We can stream vocal-only tracks. We can stream piano lessons through YouTube on an iPad or an Android device. And we can also use the sheet music apps as well. So using the pedals, we can turn the page on things like PS-Score or Sheet Music Direct. But overall, just to summarise, the Supernatural piano model sound engine, the acoustic projection system, so 6 speakers, and the PHA50 hybrid part wood, part moulded material action with all the benefits of Bluetooth technology. And it's available in 4 different finishes. So this is the brown walnut. It's available in a contemporary black finish. It's available in a high gloss polyester, so a black polyester, which is slightly more because it's a premium finish. But 3 different finishes available on this model. All of the brand new range of pianos, that's all 4, HP 603, HP 605, the LX-7 and LX-17, all come with a 10-year warranty. That covers parts and labour in your own home. So that is a statement of confidence in the product, but also for potential customers who are looking at maybe investing in a slightly higher priced product, they can use this with confidence. And we will guarantee parts and labour for 10 years, which is unheard of on an electronic product. Okay, so let's hear the Supernatural modelling engine. Okay, so that's a modelled sound. As I'm playing, it's not triggering back multi-layered samples, but what you really need to listen for is the interaction of the notes once you've triggered off the initial sound. So I'll show you another example now, pentatonic scale, and I'll keep the sustain pedal down so they keep ringing.
Yeah.
But listen to the resonance afterwards, how the strings are now behaving with each other and resonating, and you get the nuances. And this is something you can't get from just straightforward sampling. So it's those overtones and the resonances that you can really hit, and they're changing. They're
you can
oscillating
hear it coming in and out, and different resonances coming back in.
So the beauty of having a modelled sound means that you're not stuck with one particular tonal characteristic, and the beauty of it is that you can change it. So on all four of the new pianos, 603, 605, LX-7 and LX-17, you have a feature called Piano Designer, and Piano Designer is where you can edit or change certain parameters of the piano sound according to your own personal preference. So if you like a piano to sound a particular way, you can create it. If you like it bright, create it. If you like it mellow, change it. And you can do it two ways. You can do it on the piano itself, or using Bluetooth, you can use an app called Piano Designer and do it on the screen. It's a bit more visual, easier to do. So if we go into Piano Designer here, the first thing that it offers up is the lid of a grand piano. So putting it down affects the tone, putting it up will change it as well. So if we put it down completely, more of a muffled sound. Open it up, you can hear the sound change. It's a much brighter sound there. So there are other elements rather than just the piano sound. So we've moved the piano lid there, but here we scrolled onto the second parameter, and it's key off noise, and this is simulating the noise you would get from a wooden action in an acoustic piano. So what I'm going to do is put this up to its full amount. You'd never play it with this because it'd be ridiculous, but just to show, that is the noise
you can actually hear as well. You won't be able to tell on the video, but the sound is actually coming right from the speaker.
From the centre.
There. It's not,
so that's the acoustic projection really working at its best. So it's not coming out these top speakers because the action isn't there. It's the middle. It's the fallback of the action as you would get on an acoustic piano. So moving on, we can change the hammer noise. So more noticeable at the top end. So it's all these little extra sounds which contribute to the overall piano tone. So we'll go through a few others. So you've got string resonance. So this is happening all the time when you're playing the piano. If you might have depressed a key and it's resonating in sympathy with other notes that have been played on the piano. So if I
You've lifted
the felt off the string, but I haven't struck the string. If I
we can hear the strings coming.
The strings resonating, and you get those overtones, and you can adjust those levels. Again, let's go through some other stuff on here. You can change the cabinet resonance, you can change the soundboard type. All of these parameters will change the overall tone.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to get involved with. There's all sorts of things you can customise there.
And once you've done that, you can save it.
Yeah.
So you can create your own personal piano, and so you could call it Reidys, Reidys special, and save it into the piano. This is a great one as well, a damper noise. So on an acoustic piano, when you press the sustain pedal down, all of the felts lift, and they sort of catch the strings on the way up. So I'll put it up onto its maximum.
Yeah, you can hear that.
You can hear those overtones. So it's all this attention to detail.
Yeah, it is. It's really high definition, isn't it? When you start adding all these things together, it makes a difference.
And it all contributes to the overall sound. It's not just recording that one note. It's the noises, it's the clicks, it's the thumps, it's the overtones. So, working through Piano Designer, we now get to the part where you can customize the tone of each individual note. So, you can change the tonal character, you can change the pitch, you can change the volume of each note. And this allows you to create, essentially from scratch, your own perfect, preferred piano. So we'll go into some of the parameters. So if I go into the note character, middle C, if I...
Alright, so you're actually changing the note individually there, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can change that character and do it all the way across the piano. So tonal character, the volume, the pitch, to create your own...
So it is literally your own incarnation, really.
Exactly.
Whatever you want.
So really powerful, the Piano Designer feature. The app, which is available, also has a number of presets in it.
So you can just call up some
that other people have done. We've had some technicians that have put together some models for us, and again, they all sound very different. We also have a model here today that we can show you that's just been done, and
let's have a listen.
Again, characteristically, very, very different. Okay, so this is a brand new piano model, and this was put together by a very reputable piano technician who tunes the pianos at the Royal Opera House, Royal Ballet. This is his interpretation of a model for us. Different from the other piano that we've been playing.
A lot more harmonically going on there.
And if you heard on some of the dissonant notes that I played, you can hear it really sort of waving around.
It doesn't sound artificial though, it sounds really natural the way that they're interacting with each other. It's not like an effect.
Absolutely.
It's like a realistic interpretation.
It feels alive.
Yeah, it feels like an acoustic piano.
So, again, a different sound, somebody else's interpretation. It sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, so this is something that you guys can do with the piano. Obviously, you can take the chap from the Royal Ballet, or you can do your own and see what you can come up with.
Absolutely. So you're not limited to, we've got 4 pianos on this. Right, okay. What I'll do, I'll just take you across the control panel, because the control panel layout is the same on all 4 models, 603, 605, LX-7, LX-17. And if we just work from left to right, I'll point out some of the key features. Obviously, you've got your volume button here, but what's nice, when you plug your headphones in, it will default to a separate headphone volume, which is nice. When you unplug your headphones, it will default back to the speaker setting. So volume, moving along, you've got ambience, so this is your reverb, so make it sound like you're playing in a large hall, or if you want a really dry, flat sound and you're recording out into some software, you can use that on the ambience button. Next to that, you've got brilliance, so very simple, press brilliance, and on the main screen in the middle, you can select whether to have a brighter sound or a more mellow sound. So that's more of a quick edit function to change the sound to your own personal taste. Key touch. Most digital pianos have this these days. It's where you can change the sensitivity of the key bed. So whether it has a light touch or a heavy touch, it doesn't change the physical weight of the keyboard, but it changes the sensitivity. So therefore giving the feel of a lighter or heavier keyboard. Most digital pianos have light, medium, heavy or fixed. This has got 100 different levels. So if we go into key touch, we can adjust it on the main screen to your own personal preference. Next to that, we've got transpose button, very straightforward. You've learned a piece of music in a certain key. Your singer says, oh, it's too high, I need to drop it down. Press transpose, again, covers a full octave, let's drop it down to. Very straightforward. Moving along the panel, you've got the split feature, so this will give you 2 zones on the piano. So if you have a look, it's set to piano and acoustic bass. So I've got piano on the left, so just fun to play with, and you can change those combinations, so you don't have to have a acoustic bass. You can have any sound that's in the piano in the left hand, you have any sound in the piano in the right hand. You can also change the split point very easily just by pressing and holding, and press whatever key on the piano and it will change the split point. Next to that, you've got the dual mode, so very common to want to mix 2 sounds at once. So if I press that, I think it defaults with piano and strings. Piano and strings there. Like split, you can mix any sounds you want from the piano. You can also change the balance. So if I want to bring up the strings a bit, very straightforward. Then we're into our main tone banks now. So we heard some of the pianos earlier. You've got your main concert piano. Using the plus and minus button, you can select the different pianos within these banks. So we've got the bright piano, we've got mellow piano, ballad piano, and all the pianos in this first bank, these are your modelled sounds. Moving across, we've got EPs. These are straightforward samples. Again, within that bank there are various EPs. Moving further across, we've got our organ category, so often pianists like to play a bit of organ music as well. So what we can do here is put the pipe organ on, set our ambience over here to rich, so make it sound like I'm playing in a large hall, and so there are a number of different organs in here. So you've got flute, got jazz organ, so a lot of variety in there. We move over, we've got some strings. Again, multiple different string sounds within that category. And if we move over to other, this is where we find a whole host of other sounds, not only a general MIDI bank of sounds, so brass, guitars, drum kits and things like this. You'll also find some upright piano samples. So these aren't models, these are samples, but upright pianos have a very different characteristic. And again, within that category, there are numerous upright piano sounds. So they're your main piano tones and additional sounds within the range. There's over 300 sounds on each of the models. Moving along the control panel, we get to a new feature which is called registration. Very straightforward. It's like writing a patch into the piano. So if there are certain sounds or sound combinations you like, piano and string, piano and organ, you can save them in here for easy recall at a later date. we have next to the registration button twin piano. This is great for learning, teaching, or if you have more than one person learning the piano. Essentially, it will split the piano into two, and you have a middle C in each half of the keyboard. So let's say the piano teacher comes to your house and does lessons, and they're sat towards this end and they want to show an example. The pupil can be this side. And what's nice about that as well is the pedals split. So the right hand pedal becomes the sustain for this small piano, and the left hand pedal becomes a sustain for this small piano. So that's great for teaching. It's also great for duets. If you've got two people playing the piano, you can both, rather than buying two pianos, you've got them in one and play duets together. So twin piano, a great feature. Piano designer, as we've already looked at, this is where you can customize the piano sound to your own personal preference and really go into detail and create your desired tone. Moving across the control panel, we've got a built-in metronome. Very straightforward, very useful. Rather than purchasing a standalone metronome, it's built into the unit, so we can speed that up. Obviously, we can change the time signatures 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 6, 8. Great for practice. Moving along, we've got the song button. There's a lot of content within the new range of pianos. There are some beginner pieces, there are technique exercises like Hanon, Bayer, Czerny exercises. There's also newly added to this range are scales and harmonised scales. So practicing scales is it's dull. It's dull at the best of times. So having an accompaniment to play along to makes it just a bit more interesting, and the fact that you have 3 parts for each of these songs, so you have a right hand, a left hand and accompaniment, it means that you can practice hands separately. So let's see if we can just have a quick look. We will go through to scales. C major scale, we've got 3 parts here, right hand, left hand and the accompaniment, and if I play this now, so the piano is playing the scale, it's giving me an accompaniment, it's giving me rhythm to keep in time. What I'm going to do is turn the right hand part off, the piano will play the left, the accompaniment will play, and I can play the right hand on my own and practice. So it has every major and every minor scale programmed into the piano, and that's for the minors it's harmonic and melodic. So really makes doing those boring scales a bit more interesting. Also through PeerScore, the digital sheet music is available for the content in the piano. So the classical pieces of music that are in here, the scales that are in here, you can download that for free, play along, and you've got the scales in front of you. So that's all contained within the song feature. And then over here, the final part of the control panel is the recording facility. So very easy just to play. Record yourself playing. This is great for a self-analysis or playback. So if you're learning a new piece of music, so stop. So really good for hand separate practice. Often when people are learning piano, you practice right hand first, get up to speed with that part, left hand second. When you're comfortable, put them together. So that recording facility is great to do that. You can then save that to USB and recall it at another time for future practice. So essentially, from left to right, a quick overview of the control panel, and it's the same on all 4 models.